MES just launched a 1.1 billion bazooka into 3 selected funds meant to boost our SGX market demand. In layman terms, fresh money from the government, you must know how to tap on them lah. Okay, so grab your copy. Let's dive straight into the stocks I will cover today. Why does this MES money splash so significant? Because it results in increased analyst coverage and the tighter spreads for the companies that are involved. Second of all, the grant money acts as a seeding. So it will have a multiplier effect because it will draw in the additional private capital from all these different asset management firms into whatever they want to have their strategies and the companies they want to invest in. And especially if you think about it, small and mid-cap companies are so small in Singapore. They are less than 1 billion in size, and most of them are below even 100 million to just maybe 300 million. So with all that big funds coming in, 5 billion from MES, at least a one-to-one, additional 5 billion, which is 10 billion coming in to all these small companies in Singapore itself. Imagine having this 10 billion liquidity flooding the market at one go. This is like the analogy of the Mao Sangwang. All these premium durians will get snapped up first during the season. That is why we are talking about finding the early movers and the best positioned companies, which I will talk about next. Okay, first stock is none other than Chong, nicknamed the OSV comeback kit. The reason why is because they have a very strong 1.7 billion ringgit in order book, indicating robust future revenue. And as the leading OSV builder turned owner, right, they have the youngest fleet in Malaysia as well, with 60 to 70% of them are in long-term charters. So providing very good earnings visibility, the subsequential improvement in the utilization and fleet expansion may drive double-digit growth from second half 2025 onwards. And on top of that, they are trading at only around 3.5 times price to earnings ratio. It is almost at a 50 to 70% discount to the peers. DBS is giving a fair value of $1.05, which is 6 times P ratio for the year of 2025. Second stock, Hobiland, a discounted property gem with several attractive points. Number one, very high insider stake. Okay, the family owns over 75% in the company, signaling very strong confidence. Number two, potential catalyst. So with this very high insider stake, there is a potential of privatization in the works. Also, lower interest rates can potentially drive the story of a higher appreciation for the share price itself. And right now it is very undervalued based on the price to NAV because it is trading at only 0.4 times price to NAV with a low market cap of 1.4 billion. So this is easy for funds to come in and just maybe hold it there and wait for the privatization to happen. It is also one of the cheapest Singapore-based developers with very significant recurring income. In fact, the bulk of their net profit don't come from development nowadays, they come from the recurring income of their investments in all the properties. Enjoying the breakdown thus far? Appreciate it if you can help me to smash the like button and hit subscribe. Also, join 9,000 plus investors in my free weekly newsletter at investkaki.com where I share market insights, stock ideas and investing lessons every single week. Thank you, and let's move on to the next stock. Third stock, ASO Team. So this is a leading building specialist doing all these repairs and alteration works in all the facades and the HDB buildings and all that. If you haven't heard of it, not to worry, you can just check out their investor relations page. They have a lot of projects for you to go through. In fact, one of the latest one is at Choa Chu Kang, the arena playground, as well as the Ang Mo Kio Central with all the different improvement works. They have a strong order book until the financial year 2029, so indicating very stable revenue recognition and their close connection with the government contracts. So in fact, 80% of their revenue comes from the government. With that, right, comes the key growth drivers including facade upgrading, the sustainability initiatives by the government, and also the ongoing new supply of new BTO flats that will require all these inspections, all these works, as well as the ongoing every 7 years they will need some facade inspection, maybe 3D painting, which points me to the next slide, which is their strong AI drone painting. This is a very significant catalyst that if you compare ASO Team versus the other facade providers, only ASO Team has this drone painting in the works. This is a very good technological advancement relevant to this building specialist, which could really enhance efficiency and open up new opportunities for ASO Team itself going forward. Okay, fourth stock. I've mentioned about SAS Group for many donkey years. In fact, the people who have joined my MVP club would have known about this and probably invested in them because I've been talking about them so much. Because I'm really sanguine or optimistic about their strong recovery as the cargo king reboot. What do I mean by that? If you have dived back into the history of SAS Group, you would have known that they integrated or they acquired this big company called WFS. Over the years, it has gone well and the synergy targets are well exceeded. They have surpassed these targets. In fact, the financials over the past 1 to 2 years have already shown very significant progress. Earnings have rebounded tremendously for the financial year 2025. In fact, they are very close to paying back the dividends that a lot of Singaporean investors invested in them in the first place, because back in the past it is like a very steady dividend payer, having all these SAS Group cookhouse in the army providing dividends for our fellow Singapore NS men, right? So in fact, they are very close to that because they have already increased their dividends, and as long as they can pay down debt, they will be able to increase the dividends going forward and have the potential for analyst re-rating, and the investment funds may come in then later. Last but not least, there is also this very favorable position of SATS being the leading air cargo handler for global trade recovery going forward. Okay, the last stock on our list, WeHer, is like our next potential Centurion Holdings, which went up like 500%, I believe so lah. And the reason why is because they have this workers dormitory as well, because they just launched this Pioneer Lounge, which will give a 70% increase in the worker dorm beds in 2025. They have also exited the Aussie student accommodation, I think if I'm not wrong 1.6 billion, and their net proceeds is around $320 million while retaining a 13% stake in the fund itself. So with that in mind, right, they have all this cash they can potentially give out as dividends, or they can continue to work on their other workers dorm construction or their mainstay construction division, which continues to strive with major HDB contracts in Singapore itself. So a lot of potential growth drivers for WeHer as the whole company. And now, how to play smart regarding this MAS EQDP program. So here are some key strategies that I want to share with you. So first of all, I would say that because small cap companies are so focused or they have such niche sectors, it is wise to, if you want to invest in a few of them, because then you will be able to diversify across the various sectors, avoiding relying on a single area too much. Like for example, OSV, offshore support vessels, or workers dome, oil and gas, etc. And what I would do, I will stagger my entry points to capitalize on the first mover advantages as the MAS regularly deploy this remaining $3.9 billion. So remember, total is 5 billion, 1.1 billion already kickstarted. So we have still 3.9 billion to MAS to play with. So we must have that in mind and we must go in first. But we can stagger our entry points. And on top of that, actively track all these catalysts, okay, such as their company earnings, new order book wins or charter wins or insider buying activities. So this will help greatly choosing which stocks you want to go for. And last but not least, pre-plan your exit strategies. Remember, market liquidity may not last indefinitely. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so more investors can see it. Leave a comment down below. Which of these stocks do you own or are planning to research further? And if you haven't already, join 9,000 plus readers in my free weekly newsletter over at investkaki.com, where I share market insights, stock ideas, and personal investing lessons every week. With that, signing off and see you in the next video. Bye bye.